right. Let's see here. I've made some other changes to my setup as I'm trying to reacclimate to doing this. Yes. So today, I'm going to be playing with some particles in After Effects. So the first thing I'm going to do is create a new comp. Yeah, 1280 by 720, that's just fine. Let's just name the comp particles. And yeah, we got it at 10 seconds. Black background. Should be good. Although, let's make it a white background. I don't usually do this. Usually I do black background for anything like this. Oh, the chat is off again. There we go. It's so weird. Like, I don't know what they're doing at Behance with these live streams. It's a little strange. Anyway, let's see. Excuse me. So yeah, I got 1280 by 720, white background, duration of 10 seconds. Base 30, that's 30 frames per second. Let's go ahead and hit OK, create that comp. All right. Well, now that we've got the comp created, we need to start actually doing something. So what I am going to do is, let's see. I'm just going to create a new solid inside of our composition here. There we go. And then I can look for particle effects. So my effects and presets. We've got 3 different particle effects that we can use, particle generators rather, that we can use inside of After Effects. We've got Particle Systems 2, Particle World, and Particle Playground. So I'm not sure which one of these I really want to use. Let's just start with Particle Playground. Yeah, so Particle Playground, if we play it here. Whee! Yeah, it's just like shooting out all these little pixels out of the generator in the center here. And you can, of course, change all of this stuff, right? So you've got things in your effect controls, like the position of this cannon, the generator, barrel radius. So if we make it bigger, right, then we get that sort of thing. We can have more or less particles per second. We've got a direction. Right now they're shooting upwards. Velocity. The color. So let's change the color because that red's kind of nasty. Let's make it a blue color. Then we got particle radius, so we can pull this way up. You can see the particles are right? They're just big squares when it comes to this. So let's see. What else we got here? Layer exploder. The grid. Gravity's fun. Gravity you can change so that things either just float up or hang in the air. And really, I just want to make something kind of ethereal. And I just want these particles to be like floating around. And I think I will stick with Particle Playground. So yeah, as we see, there are a couple others, and if I create a new solid, like I could name this one Particle Systems 2, just to differentiate here. Then let's name this first solid Particle Playground, so we know which is which. There we go. So yeah, Particle Systems 2 is this layer. Let's go ahead and pop Particle Systems 2 on there. And you can see this already looks way, way different, right? It's exploding all these little particles. And this is actually the one I usually use for stuff. It's good for all sorts of things like rain, like fire, like smoke. And yeah, you can change the radius, spread that out both along X and Y. So if we want it to look pretty crazy, we could bop those up, and here we go. Now we've got like all these little streams coming down here, and we've got a number of different things like vortex. They swish around like in a tornado. So there are many things you can do here. Explosive is the default. This is fractal explosive, which is kind of fun. We have velocity. If I pull that up, see things get real wacky. Gravity down, resistance up. Yeah, so lots of times what I do with these is create something that's supposed to be realistic, right? You're either creating dust or smoke or something of that nature. I just want to create something kind of experimental and fun. Maybe I'll use both of these together. I don't know. But yeah, let's change the color of these as well. So we got purple, and this is kind of interesting, right? We have our birth color and our death color. So if you wanted something to look completely different upon death than it does at the beginning, you could certainly do that. This is a swarm. And particle type, right? So right now we got lines. We could have shaded spheres. And now we've got our little spheres just moving around all over the place. Lens. These are fun. I really like to play with the particle systems inside of After Effects. And, you know, they haven't been really updated in a long time. I know, of course, After Effects is doing a lot of stuff with their 3D workspace, the advanced 3D renderer, and things like that. But, you know, there's so much stuff inside of After Effects that it's just fun to play with. Let's change max opacity 100%. And instead of lens fade, let's look at something like cubes. That might be fun to explore. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in additional effects on top of all of these. I think I just want a shaded sphere or maybe bubble. And what we're gonna do, now that we've got this set, we're gonna collapse this. And let's put some blur on here. So search for blur. And let's do a directional blur. Here we go. Directional blur. So which direction? I don't know. Side to side, right? Blur length. That's not exactly what I want. There we go, that's a bit better. Yeah, I don't know about this directional blur. It's not doing exactly what I want. And part of that might be because my particles are just kind of not the best looking. They're a little weak. Let's kill that directional blur. So this radial blur is taking a lot more processing to perform. Hello, welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Haven't really done too much yet, but it's, we're just playing with it, right? Let's see, birth size, death size. Let's bring that up quite a bit. Let's bring the birth size up quite a bit too. There we go. Yes. Yeah, so we've got this swarm of bubbles here. And notice too, like here's a little trick. You can see like when it starts out at the very beginning, when this loops, what happens is, you know, it has to generate particles again till it fills up the screen. So we could kind of start around here and just shift that over by like 2 seconds and then extend that layer again. And the same thing here, shift it over, extend. Now at the very start, it's gonna be proper, right? Oh, goodness. Yeah, that radial blur is not the best. So this is interesting. It almost looks like water. So the crappy thing here is that you can see the edges. There's some of the blurs and things like that inside of After Effects. They do have the ability to, you know, sort of go past the edges, so you don't get this weird emptiness around the edges. But this particular directional blur doesn't have that ability. But what we can do instead is, of course, we can take that that solid we created, and of course, just scale it up. And there we go. All right, let's do some other stuff. I'm gonna put Particle Playground. So this is the one. Oops. Sure. So now we got two particle systems going on, one on top of the other, right? You can see these little boxes inside of my Particle Playground here. And we could put that up top. Let's play with this a bit. Spread that out. And make them a bit more floaty here. There we go. Oh, yeah, they're just kind of like floating upwards. So there they go. So what else might we want to put on here to to make it a little interesting? I wonder if a radial fast blur on this one would work. Ooh, yes. Very cool. Oh, look at that. So yeah, I mean, layering stuff up inside of After Effects can be very, very fun. I like that brightest. And we could, you know, if it's too bright, we could always take the opacity down because we still have the regular transform controls for After Effects here. And we even have, like, if I swap my switches and modes, right, I can apply some sort of a blend mode to this. Yeah, that's kind of cool. It's not yellow anymore, but we do get some of the yellow still coming out here, right? So I want to make some adjustments to my particle playground. Cannon generator here. Take the barrel radius in a bit, because they're a bit too spread out, I think. We could, of course, add in particles too. Yeah, we can change the direction of gravity, which actually is working pretty good. Maybe I'll... Uh-oh. Sometimes, when you're working with After Effects, strange things happen. There we go. Yeah, look at him go. Instead of soft light, I want this to be a bit more intense, not color burn. What am I looking for here? That's a little crazy. Linear burn? No. We could always play with this too, right? On our top layer. See how it kind of looks. That ain't so great. Oh, wow. Yeah, so again, for anybody just joining, I have no actual, like, plan when it comes to this. I'm simply going through and just playing with these particles, getting some interesting particle effects going on. Let's add some noise to this top layer for particle systems too, just to match the noise that's going on in the dancing dissolve on the layer below. Oh, yeah, when you're adding grain, it can be pretty intense. So it gives you this little preview by default. And if you look here, yeah, viewing mode preview, you can say final output, and if your computer can handle it, then great. I've got this rendering at full right now, but I could take this down to half or a quarter, a third, right? And yes. And of course, we could just have an adjustment layer that applies all this stuff to each of the layers if we wanted. That would also work. So I originally wasn't looking to go with a grain type of thing. But, yeah. Actually, when I first started this 20 minutes ago, I was thinking of creating something that was sort of like blobs of color that would kind of merge together and play with each other. But it's turned into something a bit different. Let's go ahead and put an adjustment layer on top of this. And yeah, we could continue to blur things out if we wanted to, I suppose. Wow, what if we put light rays on top of there? Let's see. Yes. So let's put the light rays on there. And change the color of our light. Oh, I can't change the color. Oh, because it's grabbing the color from the source, right? Whoa. Yeah, let's just keep it at that then. Yeah, it's a bit mad. Pull the radius up. Oh, wow, look at that. Let's do some color adjustments here too. Colorama. How about some Lumetri color? Well, I don't. Toner. See, there's so many different things that you can use inside of After Effects. It's a bit mad, you know? Let's do some levels adjustment as well. Now, when I do this levels adjustment, I think I'm going to want that above my toner. Simply because I want the toner to affect the levels, right? Because in the toner, we can do highlights, mid-tone, shadows. Actually, that looks like... There we go. There we go. Just very hot. So yeah, we can make those kind of adjustments, right? So if I wanted to bring those blacks up in my levels, then it's going to be affected by the shadows here. Let's make the shadows a bit red too. Yeah. Yeah, this is a pretty neat effect that I have going on here. I like this a lot. I think we're pretty good with everything. I just have to make sure I stop before 10 Mountain Time because I have a meeting I'm going to then. Secret meeting. But I think this is good. I'm happy with this. So yeah, let's go ahead and output this. I'm gonna go to my comp. Let's add it to my render queue. And we'll output it to comp name. Choose. Yeah, and then I'll post this up on my Behance, right? Once we that's neat. I'm happy with this. Once we're finished today, I'll post it up on there. We've been going for about 30 minutes, I think, and that's usually pretty good. Yeah, we'll hit 30. I like to do under an hour, as I've mentioned before. And this should take pretty quick. Yeah, 5% right now. So it's gonna go ahead and render that to an MP4 for me. And then I can go in and upload that to my Behance as a project. And of course, this replay will be live as well. Just goofing around with particle effects, particle generators inside of After Effects today. I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do this week, but yeah. So I've been very busy. There we go. I've got a couple projects I'm working on with LinkedIn Learning right now that are in the kind of writing stages. Hopefully record those late summer, early fall. And I've got a bunch of content that I'm creating for my fall and spring classes for the university. Redoing a bunch of content, updating things of that nature. So that's keeping me pretty busy. And yeah, working with EdgeGain over the summer and Adobe for a number of different things. This week is the Adobe Education Institute for creative campuses, and I'm hosting a bunch of stuff the next 2 days on there. What else? Yeah. Some community projects and things like that are underway. Those will probably be wrapping up over the next couple months. Hello, Keys. I am almost shutting this down here. I was just chitter-chatting as my content rendered here. But it's finished now, so let's kind of see what this ends up looking like. Gotta remember where I plopped it. Wait, you know what? I didn't put it in this folder. Where are you? Come back. Is it this one? No. And I'm talking to myself. I know you all can't see. There it is. Okay. Hey. Yeah, so here's the resulting piece here. It's nice because once you actually put it to, you know, something like an MP4, you don't have to worry about After Effects getting hung up and rendering and stuff like that because it's just an MP4 file. So we've made this little experimental experience based on a couple of different particle effect generators inside of Adobe After Effects. And we've layered it up with a bunch of other stuff like light rays, levels, toner. That's on an adjustment layer. We've got, yes, I know that After Effects. Thank you. We've got some directional blur, some grain added to these things. And of course, we've just got our radial fast blur. And I'm using a couple of different particle generators for this. We've got Particle Playground and Particle Systems too. Are both being used in here. So fun stuff. Yeah. Taking it from, you know, just a white background and just adding up these different layers. Till we get this. All right. Yeah, first time here. Well, welcome. And thanks for joining today, everyone. Well, that was strange.
Which cannot be stopped.
Yes. Anyhow, thank you, and see some of you next time, or during a replay, or whatever. Have a nice week. See if I can remember how to stop the stream here. It's been a while.